To wear the crown from the streets to the skies, and we'll break them chains. Place your minds on far-fetched planes.
All right, so we're going to dive deep into Kendrick Lamar's insane February. This wasn't just a hot streak. This was like a supernova. You know, we're talking Grammy wins, historic Super Bowl performance, all that. We've got this article from XXL magazine called A Look at Kendrick Lamar's Record-Breaking Week by the Numbers. It lays it all out. And honestly, the numbers are insane.
Yeah, it really does feel like he reshaped the entire music business in like just a month.
Let's start with the Grammys. 7 nominations, 5 wins. He got Song of the Year and Record of the Year for Not Like Us. I mean, those are considered like the gold standard. What do those awards even mean for an artist's career?
Well, they're more than just awards. They're a statement. Winning those in particular means you're not just popular, but you're shaping the sound of music itself. It puts Kendrick in a really elite group of artists, like the ones that define this era of music.
And he used that platform to give this incredible speech all about his roots. He dedicated his win to his hometown Compton and all the places that shaped him: Watts, Long Beach, Inglewood. He shouted them all out.
Yeah, it's so striking. He used this global stage to shine a light on his community. It's a powerful statement about staying grounded, recognizing where you came from even when you've reached crazy heights of success.
He even said, and I'm quoting here, "This is my neck of the woods that held me down since a young pup, since I was in the studio scrapping to write the best raps and all that. To do records like these, so I can't give enough thanks, to these places that I rolled around since high school." It adds another dimension to his music, knowing how deeply connected he is to his community.
Absolutely. It's about authenticity, which can be rare in the music business these days. Kendrick's success feels earned, genuine, and that resonates with people.
Speaking of which, let's talk about that Super Bowl performance. Not only did he crush it, but he made history as the first solo rapper to ever headline.
And that viewership, 133.5 million people. That just shatters previous records. It puts him in a totally different league of fame and solidifies his place in pop culture history.
Makes you realize that hip-hop isn't just a genre anymore, it's a cultural force. And Kendrick is leading the charge.
What's fascinating is this performance also reflects a shift in what audiences want. Hip-hop is mainstream now, and Kendrick's art is at the forefront of that evolution.
It really makes you wonder how this level of success will influence his future work. But before we get into that, what makes Not Like Us a masterpiece? Because that's the word the XXL article uses, and I want to know what you think.
It's not just the catchy beats and clever lyrics, although those are definitely there. Not Like Us tackles complex themes like identity, prejudice, and the struggle to connect in a world that feels so divided. It's a song that makes you think, it makes you feel, and it stays with you long after the music stops.
It's interesting because his Grammy speech about community, it ties directly into the themes of Not Like Us. It's like he's showing us that our experiences are always connected to something bigger.
Exactly, something shared. And he does it in a way that's thought-provoking and entertaining that's rare.
It's true, but it's not just the lyrics, right? What about the music itself?
Well, he blends different styles and sounds so seamlessly. It creates this rich soundscape that's familiar and fresh at the same time. The way he uses rhythm and melody, the way he builds tension and release, it's masterful.
So it's the combination of lyrical depth, musical innovation, and cultural impact. Is that what makes Not Like Us stand out?
Yeah, precisely. And the fact that it resonated with so many people, earning him those Grammys, speaks volumes about its power and relevance.
Okay, I think we need to pause here and let all that sink in, but I think we move on. We want to remind you to like and share this episode if you're enjoying it, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more insightful content. Now back to Kendrick. So we were talking about how Not Like Us blends those complex themes with incredible musicality. And it got me thinking about Kendrick's growth as an artist. He's been around for a while. How has his approach to music changed?
Well, what's interesting is that his early work, it was rooted in that classic hip-hop tradition, storytelling, wordplay, social commentary. But with each album, he pushes the boundaries further, experimenting with sounds, genres, even different ways of telling stories.
Yeah, like with To Pimp a Butterfly, he went full-on jazz and funk. And then, damn, he explored those really personal, almost biblical themes.
Through all that experimentation, he's never strayed from his core message, the importance of community, the struggle for identity, finding meaning in a world that can feel chaotic.
Yeah, it's like he's always evolving, but he comes back to those truths.
That's what makes him so compelling. He takes risks, challenges himself and his listeners, but he does it with a purpose, to use his platform to start conversations and move culture forward.
So where does this record-breaking February fit into all that? Do you think this level of mainstream success will change his approach?
That's the question, isn't it? Some artists, when they get this famous, they start playing it safe, sticking to what worked before.
But you don't think Kendrick will?
It's hard to say for sure, but knowing how he is, his commitment to pushing boundaries, I think this success will make him even bolder, give him the freedom and resources to try bigger ideas.
That's a really exciting thought. This could be like a launching pad for something huge.
Exactly. Imagine what he can do now with the whole world watching. The possibilities are endless.
We've talked about Kendrick's impact on music, but what about his influence on culture overall? I mean, he's clearly more than just a musician now.
He's a cultural icon, a voice for a generation dealing with issues like race, identity, social justice. And the fact that he's achieved this level of fame without changing his message, that's incredibly significant.
Like he's proving you can be both critically acclaimed and commercially successful without losing your integrity.
Exactly. It sets a great example for young artists, especially those from marginalized communities. It shows you don't have to conform to make it. You can be yourself, follow your vision, and still reach a global audience.
The message of hope, empowerment.
Absolutely. Kendrick Lamar shows the power of authenticity, of using your influence to make a difference, and never giving up on your dreams.
Something we can all take inspiration from, no matter what we do. Okay, before we get too philosophical, it's a good time to remind everyone to like and share this episode if they're liking it. And if you want to explore more topics like this, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We've got tons of content that will blow your mind. Where does he go from here? What does an artist do after reaching these heights?
That's the big question. He's achieved a level of success most artists can only dream of. He's won every award, topped the charts, headlined the Super Bowl, and he's a cultural icon now.
So what's next? Does he keep chasing bigger things, or does he shift his focus?
It's really interesting to think about. Will he keep pushing the limits of hip-hop, experiment with new sounds and collaborations, or will he branch out into other creative things like film or visual arts?
Yeah, he's already done some film stuff, like with the Black Panther soundtrack. Maybe he'll direct something next.
That wouldn't surprise me at all. He isn't afraid to take risks and try new things. And with his influence, he could open so many doors for other artists and creators from underrepresented communities.
That's a great point. He could use his platform to bring attention to others.
Exactly. And just imagine the impact that would have, not just on music, but on society.
I'm also curious how his message will evolve. He's always spoken out about social justice, about the experiences of Black Americans. Will he continue to focus on that, or expand to global issues?
I think those core values will always be there in his work, but his perspective will naturally broaden. We might see him talk about things like climate change, economic inequality, or the refugee crisis, all through his unique artistic lens.
I'm ready for whatever he does. He's a visionary artist with a powerful message.
And no matter what he chooses, one thing's for sure, Kendrick Lamar will keep challenging us, inspiring us, and making us think. He's not just an entertainer, he's a cultural force shaping the world.
Well said. This deep dive into Kendrick Lamar's journey has been incredible. I feel both inspired and excited for what the future holds, not just for him, but for the culture he's shaping.
I agree. It reminds us that music can be more than just entertainment. It can be a force for change, a platform for conversations that matter, and a reflection of our hopes and struggles.
It's been awesome unpacking all of this with you, and to everyone listening, we hope you found this deep dive as thought-provoking as we did.
If this got you thinking, we encourage you to check out Kendrick's music, explore his message, form your own opinions, engage in the conversations he starts, and see how his art connects with your own experiences.
And don't forget to share this episode with everyone you know, and hit that subscribe button on our YouTube channel for more deep dives.
Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time for another look into something amazing.
To wear the crown, from the streets to the skies, we'll break them chains. Place your minds on far